Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langaite Girim, Vitkripatamaham Vande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we were discussing what an important aspect of how do we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then what should be our mood and attitude. And then we were also trying to see how our acharyas have given us the way and then how do we take this truth further, especially during any disturbances or obstructions or any deviations or the mind wandering to different circumstances. How do we tackle those things? And day before yesterday, we were also trying to perceive what not to do. And today we will try to see how our acharyas, through their mercy, they're actually giving us the deliverance from this pathetic condition of material existence. Because the more we understand that, then it is a clear indication in which way or which direction we should head our life to. So, dear devotees, first of all, when we see our day-to-day life or our activities or our whatever we are doing in this world, if we closely observe, none of those things will actually give real happiness. Now, when you practically see any action which you are doing that do not give any tangibility, because it doesn't have any existence. For example, a pig is actually eating so much stool or eating so much garbage. But when we see what happens is a thought will come into our mind, "Arre, what is it? What nonsense she is doing?" But for the jiva who is actually doing it, she is actually relishing that. Because unless and until the jiva is not relishing, he cannot do that. But for us, it looks something awkward. But for the jiva is actually very happily doing that. That's how that's an example of how this material existence is actually surviving. For example, if I say, you know what, investing in stock market is not right. That means directly investing on a day-to-day basis and then selling them, like a short-term investment. You invest and then you remove. It's a kind of that you're always in a state of anxiety from a devotee perspective. When the devotee would see, it's a clear indication that, oh, person is actually going through so many difficulties. But we actually see that, oh, he's going through so many difficulties. Why is he working so hard for that? Why is he always in a state of anxiety? Why is he always thinking about that? Because continuously, mentally, he's actually thinking about that. Even though the stock market is closed at 5 p.m., but still after that, he contemplates, what should I do tomorrow? What should I do? Where should I invest? Should I remove this? Should I keep it there? Continuously, he's actually thinking. Actually, I've asked the devotees also who actually do that. Then I asked, what do you always, I see you listed like 10, 15 companies. So what do you do with all of them? And then he started telling, you know what, I will see because I've invested on and in all of these 15 companies some money. And then I would see, how my value is increasing. If it is decreasing, then I will switch. That means, then I asked, that means continuously you have to see that? Then he said, yes, because that's my duty. I should do that. Then I asked, "Oh, don't you feel like discomfort? Don't you feel like you'll be kept in a state of anxiety? And this is kind of part of, it's a kind of gambling also. That's okay, but I have to make money. So for him, that is correct. But from one perspective, when we see through a perspective, it is not correct. That means he has one perspective. His perspective is correct for him, and my perspective is correct for me. So an analysis has to be done. Which perspective is correct? It's important. Is it the perspective which we carry? Is that correct, or the perspective which he's carrying is correct? Who has to assess that? Who has to tell that? Now there is a small story on this. It's very interesting. Uh, I think there are two cats. There's one loaf of bread. I think it is cats. I don't remember exactly which gender, which animal. Two cats are like quarreling for the loaf of bread, and then in between the monkey would come, and then monkey would say, you know what, I will give you, I will equally distribute. Then he would try to distribute equally, and then he says, oh no, you know what, this side it is more, and then he begins eating it, and then again he puts, and then again he shows, hey, you know what, this side it is less, and then again it started eating. And again, he just said, no, this side it is less, this side it is less, this side it is less, continuously telling like that, and then it ate whole loaf of bread. Now, from the perspective of the animal, what is he trying to see? This monkey will actually help. This monkey will actually help me to solve this problem because we are kind of quarreling for that loaf of bread. Okay, so they go to the monkey, but the monkey is very tricky. Initially, she'll tell that, oh, okay, I will pacify you. But the intention of the monkey is not right. The intention of the monkey is to use them. But even that using is also very intelligent using. The using is not like, oh, okay, just like that. We can know. No, the using, we cannot know. The cat doesn't know. When we see from our perspective, we can say, oh, I know this story. But from the perspective of the cat is actually feeling that, oh, this monkey will actually help me. That means what happened? The cat had a trust on that monkey. Likewise, every living entity in this world, they trust this material nature. They trust this, they directly do not trust on the material nature, indirectly trust on the material nature. Indirect trust on the material nature is what? Is that money? I'm just giving an example. There's so many things like that. So that indirect trust is what? Is keeping that indirect trust on the money. So for that, what is he trying to do? Every half hour, every 1 hour, he's actually checking. Because he has a cell phone in his hand. I started asking how often you check it. He says every half hour, 1 hour. At least if I'm very busy at office, at least two times. If the market is very bad, I'll immediately move. The market is this, I'll keep it there. So he's always, because he has to do that for his own happiness, so-called thing. He has to do that. So dear devotees, what is happening is everyone's perspective is correct for his own self. For example, if I show six, for example, if I've written six on this piece of paper, let's say I've written six like this. Now, for me, this is six. If I turn like this, the same six is transformed as nine. So, which is correct? Six correct or nine correct? Please try to think about this. Very important. Because mind will cheat us like this only. It will tell what is wrong, right, and it will tell what is right, wrong. Because that is the nature. Because mind is not just mind working. Please understand this. Another important thing. Mind is actually working through the Material nature. Material nature is actually working through the mind. It's not like mind is directly working on us. Our mind doesn't like us. No, no, no. The natural propensity of the mind is whatever it sees, it tries to perceive it. Obviously, we do not see Krishna consciousness always. We see material consciousness also. So what mind focuses on? Obviously, it will focus on material consciousness. Especially when it will come during the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Or whenever we are doing any process of Shravanam, process of hearing, chanting, process of reading, process of doing some service for the spiritual master, when these things come, then mind says, no, 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 don't worry. Just why are you accelerating now? You can go slowly. Krishna consciousness can be done slowly. Antakale chana. At the end of Antakale chamameva Swaran Mukta Kalevara. Oh, at the time of death, na, you should remember the Lord. Now I can go slowly, don't worry. The mind will tell, oh, this is a long term investment. Don't worry, just relax. Why are you running behind this? Why are you running? You see so many devotees around you. They're very happily, coolly practicing. They watch movies, they chant Hare Krishna. You also do like that. What's the problem? See, you see, nobody surrendered, but they are still practicing. They are also initiated. They got dasa at the end. You know, relax, Baba. There is a lot to enjoy in this world. Enjoy. Then slowly you take up this process. That's okay. Prabhupada came for us. We don't have to become Srila Prabhupada. He came for us. Mind will tell, oh, mind is always like this. It will try to find various ways and means to keep us away from the science of Krishna consciousness. Because that is his perspective. Now, when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what happens to your devotees when we are chanting the holy names, the mind will tell, it's okay, that's okay. Actually, a lot of devotees tell this. They tell Prabhu, I don't know what I'm doing in the 2 hours. I chant 16 rounds. It will take 2 hours. I don't know what am I doing. Because they're very honest devotees. I'm not seeing the Lord, I'm not actually releasing the holy name. But I'm just chanting. I kind of feel that I'm wasting 2 hours of time. Devotees do tell that. It's a practical question. Somehow I'm not able to accept this. Then I say immediately, Prabhu, the reason that is coming is because we don't feel that relationship with neither with the holy name, neither with our acharyas, neither with our spiritual master, neither with our person. We just take this process very impersonal way. That means we take the information, but we don't remember the person who gave the information. Because the information will just remain information. That information will not come to your heart while you are facing difficulties. That information will not give us that clarity. Oh, chanting of Hare Krishna means I should do like this. That information will not come. This is actually a greatest problem actually. Now the why the mind is obstructing us. Sometimes sleep will come. Sometimes we don't know. Time just flow. Time just go. It just goes away. Especially when we are not doing this chanting process early in the Brahma Muhurta hours. You ask if a person who's practicing since 10, 15 years, ask him what's your experience in chanting of Hare Krishna mantra? How do you feel? What do you perceive? Well, he'll give his perspective. Here, should be honest. You cannot say that I have, Shuddhanam. I'm chanting Shuddhanam. Shuddhanam, person who is chanting Shuddhanam his state of consciousness will be completely different. Shuddhanam will only come after leaving all these materialistic desires. Until that point of time, it's a struggle actually. It's definitely a struggle. If you're attached materially and then you're chanting Hare Krishna, no doubt that will give some punya, but that will not give us or take us to the plane of Shuddhanam. Because whenever we chant Hare Krishna with some materialistic desires, what happens is the taste will not come. Please understand. You should be very honest. You should. I was actually talking to my father today in the morning. We were discussing on this. When we become more and more honest with the process of chanting Hare Krishna, with the process of Krishna consciousness, or for example, how do we know that whether we are honest or not? Very simple. When we see our heart and when we hold our beats, if we do not get any taste to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we should understand there is some problem in the heart. Or we don't aspire to chant, or we don't aspire to hear, or we don't get up. Then what are all these indications? You know what is? One is lack of relationship. Second thing is we do not give importance to the process. Third thing is there are so many other unwanted things which are dwelling in our heart. Why people do not come to the process of Krishna consciousness, these are the reasons. For example, if I say, you know what, you get up like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, I will give you 50 lakhs rupees, 50 lakh rupees. You know, who doesn't come? Everyone will go. Yes, they're getting 50 lakhs. But if you say, you know what, you should get up and practice this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's great for you. It will liberate you from this materialistic existence. You don't have to come again into this material world. This, oh, abhi acha hai na. Now everything is good. My life is good. It's going happily. A 4 bedroom home. This, that, so many things. No problem. कुछ problem ही नहीं है. I have 2, 3 homes also. Not one. क्या बाबा आप बोल रहे हो उधर जाना है इधर ही अच्छा है ना here only everything is good why are you telling me to go there an honest person will actually think like this because he is not superficial what is superficial devotion I'll tell that superficial devotion is Prabhu I'll do everything for Guru and Krishna but in the sidetrack we do so many other things externally superficially we'll tell oh yes everything for the pleasure of spiritual master everything for the pleasure of acharyas but we have so many other dealings in the background. So Krishna is actually watching that. Please understand this. I remember spiritual master telling that Krishna doesn't see what you gave, Krishna sees what you kept. Because he's very, he's a kind father. Krishna is very merciful father. So that hit us like a jolt. And we always check our consciousness, with what we are doing. Okay, today is the discussion. What is the mood? What is the intention? Why are we coming here? If we have any other motive other than to serve the spiritual master and the acharyas, then that nothing will go in the heart. Yesterday, now Chanakya was telling we should surrender to Krishna. We shouldn't have anything. We should surrender to Krishna. But how that surrender comes, for that we require a trainer. Otherwise, surrender will not manifest. If surrender is that easy, then if I tell everyone on the street, then they will all say, hey, you know what, I will also surrender. You don't even know what surrender is. It's very important to understand the principles of surrender. To come to that plane, it requires a lot of relationship. Lot of relationship. Until that thing is established, we will hear, we will understand, oh, Srila Prabhupada has done this, Srila Prabhupada has gave his life. No, how are we not able to give our life? That is the problem. It's not easy. It's not easy to practice Krishna consciousness. It's not easy to give up what we have. Because, for example, very simple thing, dear devotees. If you see Krishna every day, and if Krishna personally comes and tell you that you should surrender Sarvadharman Parityajya, but you're seeing him through some respect, through some devotion, because you're seeing him. When he comes and tells, then you do it. But we don't see him. Do we see him? How many of you say, I've seen Krishna? We don't see him. But still, we need to come to that state. See, Arjuna's business was easy. Please understand this. Arjuna has seen the Lord. Arjuna has given reasons. And then after that, his reasons got shattered. And he understood that. He's a very honest person, very honest to the heart. And then he submitted to the Lord. Oh, my dear Father, my dear Krishna, somehow this thing is keeping me in state of bewilderment. You tell me what I should do. Because he's seeing the Lord right away. Likewise, Brahmaji has seen Krishna. Krishna shook hand with Brahmaji. Bhagavatam says. See, Brahmaji came, dear devotee. I was actually thinking about this in the morning. Are Brahmaji, such an exalted personality, our Sampradaya came from him. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya. Very authorized, very bona fide, directly coming from Brahmaji. And Krishna, this is very interesting. There are four Sampradayas. In none of the Sampradaya, Lord personally manifested. In Sri Sampradaya, Balramji manifested. Who has Ramanujacharya? Who is Ramanujacharya? Is Balramji. Sheshnag, Ananta Shesh. Ramanujacharya, empowered personality, just directly descended. Balramji directly came. Okay, in Sri Sampradaya, Balramji came. Right? In Rudra Sampradaya, Lord Shiva came. Kumara Sampradaya, son of four Kumaras came. Sri Sampradaya also Lakshmi Devi. Right? But only in our Sampradaya, Lord Chaitanya came directly Krishna. Please understand. Our is, I always think about this. Arey, what fortune we have. Unlimited fortune. Directly Krishna came actually. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended. Who? For us. Now, coming back to Arjuna's example, Arjuna has seen the Lord and then he submitted and then Krishna told him to surrender. Then the surrender is done. Because Arjuna has a relationship with the Lord, he submitted himself and then he surrendered. That's it. But now, when we came to ISKCON, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of our teachers, what is happening here, dear devotees, here? Here we don't see the Lord. Please understand. Just like Arjuna is saying, we don't see like that. We see Krishna in another way. We, through experiences, we see the presence of the Lord. But like Arjuna, we did not see. Just imagine, just understand, dear devotees. Just through experiences, devotees are surrendering. So many devotees who surrendered their life. They gave everything. Surrendered very nicely, taking the process nicely. When I ask them, have you seen Krishna? They don't say that I've seen Krishna. But they will tell, every devotee will tell, I have strong faith on my spiritual master. I have strong conviction on his words. Whatever he says, I will follow it. Through that submission, what is happening is surrender is manifesting. Otherwise, if this submission and surrender is not there in a relationship, how can we surrender? How can we establish that? Because Krishna, we are not seeing him directly. We are seeing the Lord through our acharyas only. There's no other way. That is the only way to see the Lord. Because when we follow their instruction, you will experience. For sure, no doubt. That means whatever if you follow an instruction, you'll get a reflection. For sure. There's no doubt about it. One time, today morning, a devotee was talking on this. She's telling, oh, spiritual master is giving so much, but what more I should do? What meditations I should do? Amma, we are not here to do meditations. The heart will actually naturally manifest. You don't have to sit for some time and then do some meditation. Oh, what should I meditate? What we should do is we should do service to the spiritual master. Please understand this. What we should do is when we do service to the spiritual master for the pleasure of the acharya, the spiritual master should be like that. Spiritual master should be redirecting us to our Acharya. Please understand this. Spiritual master is not independent. None of the Acharyas are independent. They are. Prabhupada says that everything is given by my spiritual master. Very honest. Lot of, a reporter was asking, oh, Swamiji, you are the Jagat Guru of of this entire world. Everyone are telling. Prabhupada kept his head down and then he said, oh, I'm servant of everyone. He spoke from his heart. The honesty. We have read this, right, dear devotees, when we are in childhood days, moral science. Honesty is the best policy. We have this course, right? Moral science in our seventh, eighth grades. Honesty is the best policy. But how is honesty is best policy? When we are in Krishna consciousness, when we are sincerely honesty, then only it becomes best policy. Otherwise, for example, if I'm cheating in the background and then I'm proclaiming that I'm honest in the foreground, do you think that Krishna will be happy? Krishna will never be happy. Never be happy. I remember one devotee who is very honest sadhaka. His practice is in his 20 years. Very nice devotee. He came to a process of Krishna consciousness when he was 40 years old. He's an engineer, uh, government engineer. And he met my spiritual master. They both are engineers. Both go to the same office. So very interesting. And he started going, meeting this pure devotee. And then what is happening is a very interesting thing happened. Because he has some expectation, because he's an engineer. My spiritual master is a kind of a senior engineer, senior than him. He goes to him so that he can do some work. Some work has to be done. Develop some relationship. Things will shape up nicely. So that was his perspective, but pure devotee perception is totally different. Whoever comes to him, he will ensure that he'll make sure that he's a devotee. So then he slowly started extending that relationship, and then now the devotee become after 20 years, he become very, very sincere devotee, completely surrendered, doesn't have anything to it, completely giving the service of Srila Prabhupada very beautifully, and then now. And spiritual master is telling, you purchase this apartment so that your children will have some home, place of living. He's telling you, what are you doing? What are you telling? I cannot do that. Why are you pulling me into this materialistic things? I cannot do this. My heart is not accepting. It's a very intimate relationships. So to get Krishna, you need a devotee. Please understand. Krishna cannot be pursued just like that. For example, I heard something and then I started applying. Things will not work out like that. You should know why you're applying that. Who told you to apply? Did he told you to apply? Did he said you do this? If not, even if you apply, it can give some result on a more passion level. Because if there is no authorization in our life, dear devotees, what happens is anything which we do that will not give a complete result, because in that Anyavilashita Shunyam is not there. When Anyavilashita Shunyam is there, then what happens is whatever we do, whatever we perceive, if everything is done for the happiness of their happiness. Prabhupada, we should always sing. Will Srila Prabhupada be happy? Will my spiritual master be happy with this thing? Let me ask him, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this in this way? Can I do that in that way? I'm planning to do this. I'm planning to do this vrata. I'm planning to do this austerity. Can I ask him? Can I do this? Because what is happening there, what is through this, what is establishing is a relationship is establishing. Because what are we asking? Are we asking any material things? No, we are not asking any material thing. We are asking how do we advance in Krishna consciousness. When we ask in that perspective, what happens is slowly the heart will actually resonate because the connection is established. Just like Brahmaji, when Krishna shook the hands, because when Brahmaji first came, there's nothing actually. कुछ भी नहीं है. Everything is pitch dark. I is trying to find the root. Now he came from the lotus, the stem, the nabi of Garbhodaka Vishnu, right? Actually, Kshirodakasai Vishnu. Okay, from the nabi he came. Now he is actually wondering where should I go? किधर जाना है? Where should I go? He's trying to figure out what to do. Didn't, everything is blank for him. Just like you go to the school, we learn A, B, C, D, so many other things, and then words, and then addition, subtraction. It's a step by step. And you was first grade, second grade. No, Brahmaji didn't do anything like that. Then all of a sudden he got an inspiration that he should do tapa, austerity. Now, what tapa he should do, that also he got inspiration from the heart. He didn't know from where it is coming. He started doing. After so much austerity, then Lord manifested in front of him. See, Lord did not manifest just like that. Please understand this. Lot of devotees will tell, show me Krishna. What do we do? I mean, we can't even see Trump. Forget about seeing Krishna. You are living in America for 20, 25 years. Some devotees. Can we go and see President Trump? No. He's a big man. We cannot see him. And if we can't even see President Trump, how can we see Krishna? Krishna is Bhokta of all the universes. President Trump is only for little teeny place called America, which is very insignificant. When we compare to this entire gigantic universal manifestation, very insignificant. In that Tampa is even very insignificant. In that so and so street is even, in that so and so house, in that so and so person, very insignificant. Me too, me too. So dear devotees, it's an important aspect. If we can't perceive that person, how can we perceive Krishna? It's interesting. Because if we cannot perceive them, that is the reason the process slackens on us. रुचि नहीं आता है, आसक्ति नहीं आता है. When ruchi asakti is not there, then what happens? Then we tend to leave away the process. Because there is no strong relationship, na? There is no bonding. Hey, when we are in childhood days, we have seen this example, right? Fevicol का जोड़ है, बहुत strong रहेगा. There's two elephants pulling the Fevicol. It's difficult. But it's a very strong bond. Actually, a sadhaka has that kind of a relationship with one spiritual master always. Because a relationship with the spiritual, that's what Srila Prabhupada says, I am eternal well-wisher. Eternal well-wisher means he is always there with us. That means if he is always there with us, that means his words are also always there with us. It's not like, dear devotees, don't. I always think about this. Do I just came like a fluke to the process of Krishna consciousness? Is it just a fluke that I just came, or somebody just gave me a book randomly? No, no, it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke, it's an arrangement. Now, whoever understands that, his way of thinking or accepting this world is totally different. It's not a fluke. It's a perfect arrangement. And who perceives that, then he takes his truth more on a deeper level. Nothing just happens like that, dear devotees. There's so many aspects going behind it. Is the Lord personally manifesting? Because he wants every one of us. And today is Ekadashi, very auspicious day, where we get an opportunity to remember him more and more. Where eventually, when Brahmaji did that austerity, dear devotees, what happened after that? Krishna personally came. Please understand, the Lord personally descended, right? When Krishna personally came, then what happened? Then Brahmaji started telling the Lord, oh, my dear Lord, I have Oh, can you please tell me what I should do? Then Krishna gave the instructions of what he should do. See, that's how through that instruction, what happened here, devotees, is through that instruction, Brahmaji came to know what he should do. Now, if Krishna did not told him, Brahmaji didn't know what he should do. Now he gave 4 shlokas. He got the essence of everything. What kind of service he should do. And then after this, Brahmaji says, "Oh my dear Lord, if I do all of these things, I might think that one day I might be puffed up. I might think that I'm doing all of these things. Can you please help me that I don't think like this?" Then Krishna says, don't worry, you'll be all right. You're a very honest person, you'll be all right. I started, so when I heard that, and we think about that further, dear devotees, it's a very, it's a very subtle thing. Subtle things are very powerful. Please try to understand. Gross things are not powerful. Subtle things are more powerful. Because it is only subtle things which actually drive us doing the gross things. It's so subtle things only. Gross things will not impact. For example, if I took a vow, just giving an example. If I took a vow, irrespective of the situation, I'll take cold shower. You did not tell anyone externally. It is there in your consciousness. Now you are sick, you have fever. That thing is there. What do you do? Cold shower or hot shower? Depends on the circumstance, depends on our surrender levels. So, what am I trying to say is the subtle has more impact. For example, you're sleeping in the morning, you have to get up. The mind says sleep, the intelligence says to get up. What are all the both of these things? Do you see the mind? Is it like our daughter? Can we see her? No, we cannot see her. It is subtle. So what is the mind doing? It is forcing us not to get up. It will tell, oh, you're drowsy. Oh, you're weak. Oh, you're going to Mangalarti every day. Why don't you sleep for some time? Oh, you're chanting every day before Mangalarti. So many rounds. Why don't you skip that today? Why don't you take that excuse? It will also tell, oh, anyhow, your spiritual master is not there in your bedroom. He'll not see you. Why? Just relax. This is what the mind will tell. But when the intelligence is very strong, what happens is when the intelligence has deep relationship, what will it do? Don't worry, I know what to do. And then immediately gets up, goes. See, dear devotee, it's only a fraction of the actually not even 1 second, it's a fraction of a second where the mind will try to pull us away. It's not like continuously. No, when you repeat, when you accept the words, then it is continuous. For example, mind will tell 5 minutes. And then after that, oh, mind will tell 10 minutes. After that, that's okay, that's okay. Just 5 more minutes. Still you can attend Mangalarti. It will tell like this. Still you can attend Mangalarti. You have time. You have 20 minutes, you can quickly ready and then go. All these things. Where are these things coming? Are these things any gross things? No, they're all subtle things. That means what are the subtle things? Subtle things are more powerful than the gross things. Very important. That's why all the obstruction which we are getting in the mind, when we are very careful, we can easily walk through that. We can easily see through that. Clearly, you can see through that. This we need to pursue. I think I'll stop here because I have another service right after this. Anyone would like to quickly add? Otherwise, we'll stop here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All those to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, nothing to add, Prabhu, but just realizations. So the last point that you said, subtle things are more powerful, have more impact whether to put me, whether I use my choice to go down or stick to the stick to the word of my spiritual master, who are actually helping me uplift out of their mercy, not expecting anything other than my upliftment. So yeah, so subtle things I have to observe the consciousness always. And you also said it is all natural, not like a force. Once we surrender to the words of the spiritual master, stick to it, then they will come definitely. All that you have given many examples on how the mind thinks, they're all, at least to me, they come, definitely come. That's you mentioned in one other class as well. It's a test that Mayadevi is um, is checking when we are sincere. When we try to be sincere, all these tests come, and then we have to observe what our acharyas, what our spiritual masters do at this situation, and then naturally we do. If we stick to the relationship, if we feel the relationship, then we naturally do. No, this doesn't. My spiritual master doesn't like this. Then we naturally do. So though this is my realization, Prinja. And also you also mentioned, which is very true. uh, These realizations also come if we sincerely, without duplicity. When we try to surrender is a big word, but when we try to obey and follow the instructions of the spiritual master, then these realizations come in when we are uh, maybe away from the class or when we are doing our daily activities. Then those realizations come in when we are conscious and without duplicity, when we try to follow the instructions. And getting a service from the spiritual master is a mercy. How many of them would get? So taking that to the heart and doing the service to please the spiritual master is a greatest gift. These are my um,
Even cleaning the bathrooms is a service. If they say, let's clean the bathroom, it's a good service for us. One time, Ramanujacharya sends his disciple, who's an exalted Vaishnava, sends his disciple to go, just go and help this Mataji. Go and do some service for a month at our home. He keeps away all his things and then he just goes and serves. I really adore that because there is no high service, low service. Whatever it says, we can do it. That is the greatest blessing for us. But material nature will not be. I'll tell this. Material nature will not be powerful on those devotees who surrendered to their spiritual master. Because I personally experienced it in my life. Material nature will not be. It will not trouble so much. The way she's troubling others. Because the way she's troubling others is also for others to come to that plane only. Because she's also doing a service there. It's very important. She will not obstruct. But when we are slackened with the process, when we are slackened with the truth, when we are slackened with the relationship, what happens is again material nature will catch because she is there right next. Just like Vyasdev, he has seen both Krishna and material nature, Mayadevi, both next to each other. Then he understood, oh, this is how difficulty is. So if I just follow the instructions of my spiritual master, I'll be in the line of Krishna. If I do not follow his instruction, I'll be in the line of Maya. As simple as that. This we should always keep in the heart and then move forward. Oh, otherwise this material nature will put us up and down. Should completely surrender. Should come to that place. Everything belongs to you. Manasa dega jo kichmo. Arpilato badam. Nothing is mine. Everything belongs to you. If that attitude is there, then it's a great blessing for us. But I always think about this because when I see money in my life, Before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was serving my father. He said, you send this. I used to just send. I didn't even think anything else. He said, just send this. I'm constructing now. He said, you just he doesn't even tell that. I will just send him. But I never keep it for myself. And then now because he gave me everything. He took me to this ISKCON temple. I will never forget him in my life. He is the first person who took me to the devotee association, my father. That was like second grade or third grade. I owe him a lot. I don't know all of these things, but I'm just doing him. I don't know out of relation, I just do it. Now I'm realizing that oh he has done so much because I met my spiritual master after that. So dear devotees, when we meet a pure devotee, what happens in our life is we see what happened in our life before, and then through that we learn so many lessons, and we feel we be so much we will express our gratitude so much, and then we always feel that whatever I do, it's nothing actually. That feeling will come. That is good feeling. But that will only come when we really take the process. This is not just I always tell this is not just knowledge. This is no knowledge business. This is not just knowledge transfer. These are all realizations, these are all reflections, these are all the meditations are going on in the heart. These are not just mere words. Always please try to understand. If you take this truth as is, you'll also get this. That is the whole point. Now, Srila Prabhupada want everyone to be pure devotees. He doesn't want, he says that one devotee should become pure. That's what he says. So very important, we should aspire for this. We should try to take this truth more and more close to the heart. Otherwise, if you do not develop nice relationship, it becomes difficult. Prabhupada gives us everything. We owe him everything. He's our master. If you do not come to that state, then the process will be slackened. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. I have to jump off. Thank you all very much. If I caused an inconvenience through my words, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Vamshilas Prabhu, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.